As the car went up and down on suspension, it moved with a crosswind.
Are we recording?
So it was a matter of dancing the car all the way down the straight, and they'd wander all
This
over
is going to
the
be our
place, and
beginning,
they'll
isn't it?
frighten the driver until he got used to it. And just let him have a wander.
Oh, Cameron. I hate so much of the things you choose to be.
What do you mean? That's so hurtful.
I really, what's the Easter egg you left? The guy, he's talking about Nigel Mansell and,
it was Murray Walker.
yeah, it was Murray Walker.
Murray
but
Walker.
You know, everybody knows Murray Walker.
Yeah, but the original commentator guy that everyone kind of
Who
knows.
did Formula One
He
for
did Formula
probably,
One.
yeah, from what, like the 70s into like the 90s?
Yeah. Just a super high voice. Oh no, Len Prost, he's going into the corner. He's taking around the...
It's a Spanish JR. Jim Ross. Austin!
Burger!
He's dead!
He is broken in half.
I wish David Attenborough would commentate wrestling. Tell me I'm wrong on that.
Oh, if we want to go down that rabbit hole, Stuart McLean and Steve Austin ends the match with a stone cold stunner, said Dave.
It's entirely reliant on its parents for food. There is also a smaller chick who isn't doing so well.
Oh, guys, how have you been?
I've been breathing more without all these masks.
We're back. Nice to be in the same room as each other, though.
Yes, 100% again.
Yeah.
Here we are again.
All right. Well, I say, now listen,
Yeah.
there is a lot of bush topics.
Really?
So I say we just get right to it this episode. You guys down?
I kind of hijacked it with the boat one on the
there's
last one. Oh, man.
Hijacked a boat.
Turned into a thing about Somali pirates.
All right, we because there is a lot here, and they're good. So, Blake would like to know favorite restaurants that you get when you're away, not in your hometown. Like, what are the restaurants you have to hit up when you're not home?
I used to be a long haul truck driver, and I would be in the States every week with every opportunity to check out different cool restaurants, and I would get McDonald's week after week because I'm a simple moron.
Not for the ice cream, though.
The ice cream would never work.
How did you get that truck through the drive-thru?
Did you catch any power lines in that bad boy?
Oh, man.
No terrorist threats or anything like that?
Is there oh, boy. This whole podcast has just turned into a terrible situation I've found myself in and got myself in.
Well, no, wait. There's a question coming up that you might be able to.
Oh, boy.
All right, yeah. So I thought for sure when I used to be a long haul truck driver and I was in the States, I'd go to Cracker Barrel. No, McDonald's.
Yeah.
You know what? 100%. Anytime when I went to Florida, I'd go to Cracker Barrel. It's so
Heck
good.
yeah, you go to Cracker Barrel.
Actually, for me, it's CC's Pizza in Florida. That's the space that I always went when I went
Five
back.
Guys. If there's a Five Guys,
Five Guys? Never
Yeah.
heard of that one.
had that out in California.
Really?
I ordered the large fry, and she said, "Are you sure?"
That's a good start.
That's where I should have known.
Did you say, look at me?
That's the kicker.
Challenge.
All of the sizes are one larger than they are here.
Well, they
People
took a
don't know that.
large thing of fries that you'd have here, then put it in a paper bag that was twice the size, and then filled it like they're falling out of the bag. And I'm there with Denny Hamilton, and we walk out with each other. And he looks at me. I kid you not. He looks at me dead serious, as Denny does, right, and goes, "So, what are we gonna do?" Like it was a lot of fries.
We got ourselves in quite the situation here.
So there we were, up to our knees in fries. Couldn't find a fork.
Gary, any restaurants you hit when you're away that you kind of while you have the opportunity?
No, we usually try to find some no-name place that looks decent.
I'm with. I like those though. The hole in the ones non-franchise restaurants
they
are
look
usually
decent though.
Yeah.
And you've
the
survived.
rats are an issue.
Yeah, but sometimes they're such a pleasant surprise, right? Like it feels so.
Well,
Yeah,
Jeremy
I
might be
understand.
able to validate this story because my dad, whenever we would go somewhere, he'd be driving around and be like, "Where we go find somewhere to eat," and we'd be away, and all of a sudden he'd look and it'd be like a huge pile of transport trucks in this small little shack, and I'm like,
That's
"Look
where you want to go.
I was like, "What's that?" Dad just pulls in. He goes, "If
That's
you
the
see a
spot."
bunch of truck drivers," he said,
They know.
This is
They
the
know.
spot."
They know.
They know it's true though. They know
Yep.
because they travel up and down that highway all the time. They know.
Because when
Like
you
it just
do
looks
that
like this,
job,
like it looks like a 2-bedroom shack, and it's like, "Are you sure, Dad?" Yes.
because you can be guaranteed that the research was done because people drive around for 14 hours a day wondering where to eat and debating the pros and cons. So you've had lots of time to talk about it and think about it. And so it's a pretty good chance it's been well researched.
I will also say that my lack of decisiveness usually leads to exploring, walking up and down streets and looking at 20 different restaurants before I pick which one I want to go into.
2 hours into
Heather
wanting.
loves traveling with me.
Heather's like,
Remember we went
where
to
do you-
Quebec City once and we were probably on the verge of passing out. We had walked by about 20 different restaurants and talked to the people on the side of the road and went over the menus. And
Gary's like our own personal Yelp.
Heather's learned to not go, "Gary, where do you want to eat?" Because he smiles and puts his safari hat on and his binoculars, and he gets out pamphlets and Google Maps.
Gary's new nickname in the group chat's going to be Yelp.
You should be a local guide. You need to Google local guide and get points there.
Local restaurant guide. This is this guide is national habitat.
Wow.
we've learned now when she asks me something like that, I say, "What are my options?"
That's
Oh, man.
classic though. That's like, oh, Amanda might hate me,
here
but
we
this is
go.
the thing. You pick. No, I want you to pick. You pick what we're eating. Okay. I'm picking. Yes, you pick tonight. All right. Burger King. No, I don't want Burger King. How about Pizza Delight? I could say, no, I don't feel like pizza. Okay.
You can choose
so the
anything you want.
concept of you pick. If you could give me an acceptable list that I could pick from. Yeah.
If we could
I'll
even
be more like, how about I narrow it down to about 15?
15.
I joke, but I'm probably worse than her.
Heather's like, "We need to feed our children, Gary. They're starving." One more street. One more street.
There might be a gold mine around the corner.
In Fredericton, where you've lived for like 20 years.
Oh, look, it's McDonald's.
We shall leave no stone unturned.
I swear, Heather, if we eat here and then we get out and drive around the corner and there's a chorus, I'm going to be upset.
Wow.
There might only be one block between me and pancakes.
Meat pancake.
That was a great question.
Nick replied to Blake and said, not unrelated, but when he's home visiting Miramichi, he views it as like you have to hit Dixie Lee, Ed's, Canards.
Yeah.
Like you're getting one of the three or all three while you're home because you won't get it again. For
You know what? I don't think I've ever been in Ed's before.
I was going to say the same.
Yeah. Oh, really? Well, that's like Grant's. Before it closed, I was never in Grant's Stone Air ever once.
I feel like I don't even know you right now.
Yeah, I kind
I can't even make eye contact with you guys.
Tyson took me to Ben's one night. That was the first time and last time I went there.
Well, it doesn't exist anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, you would. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Grant's doesn't exist anymore.
No, Grant's don't
And
exist.
Grant's is
no.
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, boys, it's probably no secret, even with this episode of the podcast, that all four of us like hockey, eh, guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
And I think we all have our share of maybe some more than others of hockey memorabilia
Yep.
in their man cave.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's on the walls
Yeah.
right now.
Well, we found we have a sponsor for this episode. It's 506 Breaks. He's in New Brunswick, but will ship anywhere. And what they do is they hold events where if you make a donation, you get a spot and you win hockey-related prizes.
I'm in.
All of them are autographed. It's unreal.
That's awesome.
Like, we're talking jerseys, pucks, autographed pictures, like, everything.
Yeah.
Just perfect stuff.
The
for
other
me.
night, he gave away, as a thank you to his members, it was a replica of the plaque for Mario Lemieux from the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
So,
Sweet.
yeah, they're giving away some really cool stuff. And they have events where if you give a donation, you get a spot. And they're doing some really cool stuff, giving away some really cool stuff in those events. Mystery boxes for jerseys that you have no idea what jersey's in that box. Mystery pucks. They're doing a mystery puck series right now, and I know I think there's a McKinnon puck in there that they don't know which one it is. There's a Matthews, there's a Taves for sure. I got the Malkin puck, and that'll be on its way. But yeah, go check out Stuart at 506 Breaks. Yeah, you won't be disappointed. All right, Taylor just said, and I quote, Canadian Heritage Minutes.
Great.
Oh,
they were
man.
awesome. I love them.
And there we go. All right.
I need these peach backs. Back.
I need these
I
baskets
wonder
back.
if people want to hear us talk about it or if they just want to know if we liked it.
I hated them. I'm just
Gary.
kidding. I love them.
I remember all those.
They have new ones out.
Molly, sir.
Yeah,
Molly
just-
Johnson.
We have to keep out Irish names. We commemorate the whatever they say there.
And then the next kid comes in with no accent at all. Patrick O'Neill. No accent at all. We have to keep our Irish. Patrick. My name's Patrick. I took out life insurance.
What are we going to call him? We need the poo. Why
man.
poo, son?
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, why poo? Why
Winnie.
poo?
I don't know. Just Winnie
the
Pooh.
Yeah.
You were also in Winnipeg, but it's I don't know. You're in Winnipeg.
He doesn't fly, but he can leap over small buildings.
Joe Schuster, stop it. You're going to miss your train.
Train, that's it.
You better get going. A
Train,
bullet.
no,
He's
but faster.
than a
It's
bullet.
faster than a speeding bullet.
And he'll be in these red. What is
That
it,
one
these
was
red
corny.
tights.
That one was really like,
Yeah.
oh, Joe, it'll never fly.
I know.
Fly, no.
But he could leap over tall buildings.
Boy, did they mess that one up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Are those still on? I haven't watched TV.
They're
in
on.
years.
Well, there
They
was
have
a new
new
one a
ones.
couple years ago, right?
Really?
For Normandy.
Oh.
They finally did new because with the coin.
Yeah, but there's a whole
Yeah.
bunch of new ones.
Yeah.
Is there? I haven't seen
I
any of
looked
them.
it up on YouTube.
What are they on cable 10? I haven't seen any of them.
Well, we don't watch like I
It's Cameron. Oh, a whole bunch of. I saw them on YouTube.
I did actually.
I saw him at work.
What were you watching that recommended those?
I looked up what is it? Mojo? Do they do the top 10 thing? Logo.
Oh, I know
Watch
what you
Mojo.
mean.
Watch Mojo. Sorry, Watch Mojo. And they do the top Canadian ones, the old ones, and then you look underneath, and there's like the newer ones. So
The
I
related ones.
went over to those ones. So
There was the
Wow.
Inukshuk one,
many
the
hours was that?
basketball one,
Canada,
Winnie the Pooh
the Canada one, where they called it Canada.
Oh yeah, but I'm sure he means the
Canada.
village. No, I know the word.
I know the meaning of the word.
It means nation, and
Canada
Canada is its name.
Oh wow, how bad is that? That sinks in our heads. That
Oh, man,
it's
yeah.
ingrained in here.
I tell you, sir, fish is enough to feed this country.
yeah,
another one.
yeah. I've need you for lifetimes.
You're here, aren't you?
Wow, yeah, I forgot about all those.
yeah,
Oh,
brings your youth flooding back quick.
Steven wants to know first celebrity crush. I feel like this could go really wrong.
boy. I think mine would have to be the Pink Ranger.
Wow,
That's a solid choice.
well
Pink Ranger.
played.
It's a toss up between her and Topanga, probably from Boy Meets World.
Mm-hmm.
Did I just take yours, Gary? Yeah, probably those two.
That was just, it's like, I don't even know if he realized he was making a noise.
That was in his head.
Gary just had a blackout moment.
Was the question current celebrity
Oh, my face hurts.
after all these years?
Oh, my land. Oh.
I don't know. I'm sure
Winnie
you guys
Cooper.
are in this. Huh?
Winnie Cooper.
Well, now
Wonder Years.
Steven said
Wow.
his answer is Winnie Cooper. And Blake replied to Steven and said Kelly Lebowski.
Oh, there you go.
That's fair too. And Pink Ranger, I understand. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
good job.
Amy Jo Johnson. She was also in what's that? She's on that police show now, isn't she?
Yeah. But am I dreaming? Was she on Felicity or something for a while or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't really watch
pretty
that
sure.
show, so that's something that I viewed in my periphery because I know Amanda watched it. I didn't watch it. First celebrity crush. I don't know. My first. I don't know.
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Buffy the Vampire
Yeah.
Slayer. I get that.
Yeah.
I
Girl from the
think-
Romper Room. Right, guys?
Yes, Gary.
Am I right?
I'm waiting to hear
Sharon, Lois, and Bram? Sharon and Lois?
Skinnamer and Keaton.
Holy cow. Oh, man.
Oh. I might go with Jessica Biel, Seventh Heaven.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah.
I think.
Seventh Heaven.
But it's funny because that happens like you're young. Like I would have been like
Respond to any of
14 when
this.
that show came out.
Yeah.
And as you get older, you really get over it. Do you know what I mean? It's like even that show. Like I can't believe I watched that show.
It's so
You see it on
bad.
one rerun now, and it's like, wow.
This is not
bad.
Someone said this is good to put on TV.
Yeah. And back then, and they had several seasons.
This
Yeah.
has not aged well.
No. Okay.
Seventh Heaven. When I see their happy faces smiling back at me.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I can't remember anything important, but Seventh Heaven theme song. Whole thing burned into my brain.
Nathan wants to, my face hurts. Nathan, are we almost done?
We just started.
Nathan wants to know what secret conspiracy would you like to start?
That is such a great question.
Ooh.
Not a conspiracy we believe, but one you'd like to start and just sit back, I think, and laugh. Like, that masks are bad.
Yeah.
Gotchas.
That's a new one. No one started
No one
that.
started that.
Get me tinfoil hat out, boys.
And we just lost 1/8 of the audience.
I would like to propose that the world is actually controlled by a government from one of the other parallel universes that actually exist, not the current one we have. How about that?
Okay, that had a lot of thought.
Pretty deep.
I just thought of it right now.
Multiverse.
Yep. We're assuming the multiverse exists and there is other versions of ourselves and we're actually controlled by another government from another.
I'd like to start a conspiracy where the world isn't round. and we're just surrounded by a big ice wall. Antarctica's not really there. That's a wall. You can climb over it. George Washington is still alive, man. Him and Martha are sitting there.
Are you going to start the Rhombus Earth Society?
Rhombus. We're actually a parallelogram.
It's not square. It's not flat. It's square. Which, like, make your whole argument a stupid, like, it doesn't even work. Like, but squares can also be flat. Like, it's a square Earth.
So a cube? I didn't say cube, did I? Do we need to go over the one-dimensional, two-dimensional?
Breakdown. Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All jokes aside, that's a good question.
Yeah, boys, one that you could.
One corporation owns every cart manufacturer in the world.
Wow.
Shopping
So
carts?
sinister. That's really not far from what really goes on.
Does it, Jeremy?
And let's call them the Rothschilds.
Illuminati.
And our podcast got taken down.
Thank you. Thank you, YouTube, for teaching me about the Rothschilds.
Gosh, that's a hard one.
Yeah,
That's funny. That's such a good question, but like, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
What would you want to start a conspiracy over?
Well, I'm trying to think of something funny. Like, what would be funny to sit back
exactly.
and watch everyone just melt down over that doesn't hurt anybody, but you're like, that's not
well, you
true
know
at
what?
The McDonald's ice cream machine is never really broken. They just shut it off.
Or like,
all. Snap.
best before dates are all fake. Nothing ever goes bad.
Oh, man. Yeah, but did you not remember? I don't think I told that on, and it's really not a store that shall remain nameless.
Okay, don't name the story then. Carry on.
Canadian Tire. But they used to have, and I think they still do, but like the pop machines at the front, like on your way out, like if you wanted to grab a pop or something out of the fridge. And this is not a reflection of the store as much as this young girl who probably doesn't work there anymore. Well, I guarantee it, but she was young. But I whatever I grabbed at the store real quick, I ran out, got in the car, and opened a Coke Zero. And I should have known I was in trouble when no sound came out of the Coke.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like you're waiting for the...
There was no...
And there was nothing.
Just the crack.
And I took one drink of it, and it was the flattest. You know, like there's flat pop, and then there's the state a little beyond flat pop. Like,
And then there's like the
if this
syrup
sat
that they
any
put
longer,
in the original drink.
if it sits... I was just going to say that. If it sits any longer, it's... So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go back in, but like I'm not going in to throw a fit over a pop. Can I just have another pop?
Yeah.
Right? Because like I'm working and I'm on my lunch. I stopped in for a second. She wouldn't give me another pop because, and I quote, that's not the expiry date. That's the date they bottled it.
What?
Wait for it. She really believed this and argued with me. So I must have blown her mind then when I opened the fridge in front of her and hauled another bottle out from the future.
I'm just going to say, look at these futuristic bottles.
Man.
What are you talking about?
These are not refrigerators. These are time-traveling teleportation devices. No guy comes in here and loads all these pops.
They just appear.
Oh, gosh, I'll never forget that.
I can understand it on pop, but why does bottled water have best before dates on it?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah.
That actually freaks me out.
what?
Yeah.
What's in those bottles? That you
Well,
can't-
that's it. You know, there's nothing in the water.
Yeah.
Gotta be the bottle.
Yeah, got to be the bottle. Because they say not to keep reusing those bottles. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you're like, well,
If it's
someone
in the
explain to me why.
If it's if it's in the car and it gets warm, you're not supposed to
Supposed to
drink
drink it. Yeah, because we all follow
Oh,
that one.
man.
Yeah, like sitting there saying,
I'm thirsty. Warm water, whatever.
and we all
40
know,
degree water going down your gullet.
and we all know the trucks that like sometimes come in are not refrigerated. They're just a truck with
Yeah.
like
Well, because it's just flats. Yeah, but
And
how
they
hot
get-
does it
it
get?
But that's what I
really
mean,
hot
like-
in there.
in
Yeah.
in the middle of like Dallas or something like that. I imagine that trailer probably gets a little hot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you usually got to stop, cough, choke on the BPAs as they go down. This is when I get up and I'm like, I don't know, guys. I turn around, walk away. My whole back says Aquafina. Slowly turning into a water bottle.
Oh, guys.
Yeah, that is a good one though. Those are the dates they're bottled. She's only ever
Serious
looked
as
at
oh man.
like, so that says, I guess you've never looked at that date unless you've opened something that was something so wrong with it that you had to check the date to see.
Yeah, because I didn't check the date.
And it was obviously past. So you're like, oh, that's when they bottled it. But it was probably only like a week. I don't know. I'm just trying to.
Oh, it was a couple weeks old,
Yeah.
but it was flat. Like it was,
So
I don't know
the
if someone
seal-
shook it and put it back.
The
or-
seal might have cracked or something.
or something. But like it was, you know what I mean? But it's like the date is like a while old. Like it's not, because you guys know, if you pick up a pop that's expired and it's 2 days expired, there's nothing wrong with that pop.
No,
that's a
no,
suggestion.
it's not. It's like,
But this was flat, and it was expired. So I thought, okay, well, just give me another pop. Like I just went through your cash.
yeah.
Just, well, sir, no, that's the date I'll never forget. And on us, because I remember, like, you know
Oh
me,
my God.
I think I was super sarcastic. Like I treated it like she was kidding. Like you're joking, right? You know what I mean? Like, ha ha ha. And like, no, I could tell she's just as serious as all get. Oh, no,
no,
that's the
sir.
date it's bottled.
Oh, no.
No, sir, you are wrong.
I'm about to blow your mind.
Oh, yeah. And then I continue the sarcasm with,
I'm Marty
look at this
McFly.
one.
And I'm going to hand you this bottle from the future.
Unreal. All the rest of them.
Demon.
Diablo! El Diablo!
This picture the episode of Seinfeld with Putty. Yeah, he runs up to the window and the poor priest, the devils! His face all painted.
And that's what the priest starts going, El Diablo! El Diablo!
That is peak Seinfeld.
We watched a scene yesterday at work because we were trying to quote Bookman, the detective from the library.
Bookman, yeah.
Maybe that doesn't mean a whole lot to you, Seinfeld. But right now, there's a little boy down at his local public library, opening up a book, trying to learn something. And what does he see? Little drawings of pee-pees and wee-wees. Well, I don't know, Seinfeld. Maybe that's how you get your kicks. Maybe that's what... And the way he points, let me tell you something, Buster. You step foot in the New York Public Library.
Bookman.
Oh, that's a show that has held up well.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Oh, man.
Yes, very well.
Yeah.
All right, Adam wants to know. Oh, gosh.
My head hurts.
Which Adam? Yeah, which Adam?
Adam Savoy.
Oh.
Did Vince screw Brett or did Brett screw Brett?
Oh. Gary, I think I'm going to let you start this one.
I'd rather not talk about the screwing in public.
Okay.
I don't think we'll go down the rabbit hole on this one. I learned more pretty recently that I did not know about that situation.
Yes, I watched the biography.
You
as
saw
well.
that too?
I-
So the whole for years I've wanted to side with, I don't want to give everybody the big long background, but essentially in wrestling, spoilers, they're fixed, right?
Go.
And I know.
Right.
Sorry, Jeremy. Sorry. I feel like
I'm never watching again.
I feel like I'm your Kevin Nash now for me.
Yeah, that's right.
You guys have to go back and listen.
Yeah.
But so here's the situation is I always viewed it for years. Like I wanted to be on Team Brett. I was a big Brett fan. And I always viewed it like, well, Brett, like to be fair, you're taking more money. You're switching companies. You can't leave as champ.
No.
You don't get to just walk out on TV and I'm going to hand the title over to you guys. Bye. I'm leaving.
The oldest
And
tradition in wrestling,
you-
when you were
you-
leaving a territory or leaving wherever you were, is if you were the champion, you had to drop the belt
Yeah.
to somebody.
And that's fair. Because you can't walk into the other organization and everyone's still viewing you like you're the best of that organization you just left. You had to have lost on your way out.
Yeah, you have,
Someone
to,
beat
you have to hand the torch.
right?
Yep.
So I didn't know the rest of it in that, one, Brett actually had no problem losing. He did not want to lose to Sean.
Yep.
Said, put me against someone else that night. I'll lose to them. But after all the stuff Sean has said about Canada with the flag incident and all this different stuff and everything, and him disrespecting me, I'm telling you, I'm not dropping it to Sean in Canada. Put someone else against me. I'll drop the title.
Yeah.
I'm not dropping it to Sean. I'll lose on Monday Night Raw the next night to someone else. I don't want to drop it to Sean. Vince says, okay. I didn't know the entirety of that part. I always just viewed like, oh, he wouldn't drop it. And he told them, no, I just don't want to drop it to him. Like he literally took the Canadian flag and shoved it up his nose, trying to be funny and did it. And Brett just didn't want to lose to that guy in Canada.
Yeah.
But then there was another part of it. I didn't realize that when Brett, Cameron's already nodding at me, went to Vince and told them, this is the offer I got, but I don't want to leave. And Vince said he couldn't match it. That Vince did offer him a contract for a lot less money, but a longer term. And Brett took it to stay. Then, less than a year later, Vince breaks his own contract and says, we can't afford that. I have to renege on the deal.
Yep.
So I didn't realize the background of, because the new contract with WCW was a very new contract, but it had gone all the way back to months before he had been offered one and turned it down for less money to stay loyal and stay. And now here he is saying, well, I have to break that one too. I can't afford to pay you back that. And I want you to drop the belt to Sean. Made me look at it all of a sudden. All these years I thought, please don't ever make me admit that I think Brett was sucking out loud. Like I don't want to. But all of a sudden now with that new information, it's like, okay, no, I get it. He took less money for you and his reward was, hey, I can't even pay you the less money. Can you take less again?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, I can't. I'm this age once. I'll have to retire soon. They're offering me 3 times the amount of money you're offering me. Like I could go in, make bank for 3 years, get out, retire probably. And he did, right? And I don't want to drop the belt to him. Well, we'd like you to fight him at that's Survivor Series. Well, but I don't want to drop the. Okay, we got it. You don't have to drop the title. And then screwed him over. Vince did screw Brett. Sorry.
And as a perfect example of how that was done wrong, they did the exact same thing when it came to Bob Backlund back in the 80s and Hogan. They wanted the belt to go to Hogan, but he was a good guy. Bob Backlund was the good guy and he was the champ. They're like, there's no way we can have...
Back then, you can't have a good guy lose to a good guy.
Yeah, you can't have like the
Heaven
biggest
forbid.
baby face in the 80s going against the, like in the 70s, going against the baby face of the 80s. It wasn't done. That's when the Iron Sheik came in. They just went to him. They're like, yeah, we need you to beat Bob Backlund. You're going to hold the title for a couple of months and then you're going to lose it to Hogan.
Like we need you to beat the good guy so the good guy can beat you because we can't have him.
Vince's father did that. And that's how you should have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, have someone not as
Yeah, he could have had a bad guy come in.
They could have cheated. They could have did whatever.
Yeah,
Sean could have taken the belt off of him.
Exactly.
Done.
Yeah.
The next night he could have.
Yeah.
Done. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, the more
They were both at fault.
I always thought a little bit both, and I even leaned on like Brett, like if he can't afford to pay it, he can't afford. I didn't realize he had signed one and then Vince broke it.
Then broke it again.
And then I always thought Brett just didn't want to drop it. And I was like, well, you can't take that with you. You don't get to do that.
Yeah.
He's like, no, but now I know, no, he'll drop it. His old journal said it, right? He wrote way back then that he was willing to drop it, just not to him.
Just not to Sean.
Have me lose to anybody but him. Like there was a couple guys there at the time. Like I'll put one of those guys. They can cheat. There can be a run in. It can be, I'll drop it. And then Sean can win it later if you want. Just don't make me lose to Sean in Canada. And I was like, well, now I look back at it. It's like, that's actually not that unfair.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he feels this is, anyway. I took a turn. Sorry, everybody. All right.
Quick question though on that. The Iron Sheik,
Yep.
is he?
Make you humble.
Yeah, but is he really like that? 'Cause
Yes.
he just
100%.
like, I just thought he was the most committed guy to the character I've ever seen.
Okay.
But I think he's really like that.
Okay. So
Virgil's the most committed guy to a gimmick I've ever seen.
Yeah, fair enough.
Charging Brooke Hogan $20 for a picture.
Yeah.
So the Iron Sheik actually did come from Iran.
Yep.
He was the bodyguard of the Shah of Iran.
Mhm.
Man.
He was like the bodyguard of the king, basically.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was true or not.
Yeah.
That is
legit.
100% legit.
Okay.
He was, and when it all went down over there, he came over here, and he was an Iranian champion. He helped coach the American wrestling team
Mhm.
in the Olympics.
Greco-Roman.
Greco-Roman. That's how good this guy was.
And
So
he really went on like he goes on like that's actually
he still does. Bob Backlund does.
Bob Backlund does.
Bob Backlund 100%
It's
does.
like he stays in
character.
They say like as some of them got older, they were so used to trying to keep kayfabe all the time.
they just kept it.
that they kind of kept it so like they're only themselves when they're by themselves.
Yeah.
Because like the second the camera's on or someone's there to visit them, it's like they feel the need to put on this.
Yeah.
Like to just go, right?
Tyson and I have been watching the show, this wrestling show about A&E, how they're trying to get all the WWE stuff back and like old like memorabilia and stuff like that. Well, the Iron Sheik used to have these two, like they were like clubs, and he put them over the back of his head.
They weigh a ton.
And he
But
used
he'd
to
go
and
behind
he'd
his head
swing them
and wave them, or swing them around, and they're like
Like,
80 pounds each.
to show how strong he was. Well, Bob Backlund was the only other person to ever be able to do it. So the Iron Sheik gave him these. So the WWE was looking for them. Well, they go to Bob Backlund's house.
And he's got two sets.
And he's got them. But as soon as they open the door, it's Sergeant Slaughter and the guy who's helping them called AJ. He's a guy who's in NXT now.
Mm-hmm.
But
He's like a historian. He knows everything.
yeah, like this
he remembers
kid
everything.
knows everything.
Wow.
So as soon as they open the door, Bob Backlund, who's probably in his 70s, almost his 80s.
He's got to be 70s for sure.
He's got to be his 70s. As soon as they swung the door open, he was like instantly in Bob Backlund.
He
like,
was full on.
Bob
Like
Backlund.
the way he left the character in 1994,
70
met
years
them at the
old.
door.
Yeah, it was
Wow.
like Sergeant Slaughter. Like he was going on right crazy. Like and it was
Wow.
hilarious. And then as it went on, he just all of a sudden the switch just got shut off, and then he was just regular Bob Backlund,
Really?
quiet, mild mannered.
Yeah.
Huh. Weird.
Yeah, it's. But
I think for some of them, that was their whole life. Like this generation of them, it's more broken now. Like people are aware of kayfabe and
Well, like, I
you're
guess
in character, you're out of character. And
yeah, the reason I ask it is because I follow the Iron Sheik on Twitter.
he's crazy.
He has not, one of his tweets has had a lowercase letter in it. All capital letters. And you could just hear him screaming every single, and they're all just like,
and F-bombs galore.
oh, just like so much swearing. And it's just like, he'll just,
And like he'd call out Logan Paul, but it's not Logan Paul, it's the Logan Paul.
I know. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. And it's completely random. He's like, you can just hear him going, I put the Taylor Swift in the camel clutch. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, he'll comment on all this like coronavirus stuff. And he's,
I'll humble him.
the jabroni coronavirus. Like, oh, it's so funny. Anyway, I just wondered if it was like, is he really like that?
There is on Amazon Prime. There's a documentary about him on there, and it's him being. But when he's talking, he still talks that way. I beat the Mr. Hogan. I meet the Mr. McMahon. Like he's just, he's like very,
Anyway, yeah.
yeah, he really is like that.
Wow. Anyway.
Amanda wants to know most embarrassing stories.
Oh my
Now,
gosh.
why?
Oh man.
I think we've gone through a litany of what we
I
had.
think they're looking to laugh at our expense. Is probably
so
the-
strange.
Well, I am 100% used to that, but
We're 22 episodes in and that hasn't happened yet. Why would it start now?
that's crazy.
I don't think any of my stories are not embarrassing. They're all embarrassing.
Snubbing people, snubbing celebrities.
peeing out moving vehicles,
Oh my god.
nearly single-handedly causing a boat to sink. Because that's all your fault.
That's how I view it.
Greenhorn.
Oh gosh.
I don't know. I think we've gone through probably a fair amount of the embarrassing
Oh
stories.
no, there's some out there.
Okay. I've got one that no one knows about but me. So there was one summer,
Oh,
and
goody.
I'll keep it short. There was one summer I was working for Much's Trucking with my good buddy Trent Much. And it was in between my first and second year at college. So I was hauling wood with them. And anyway, so we had one day we had to go to the mill in St. Quentin. So it's on the other side of New Brunswick. It's a long ways through the woods. So anyways, we get the loads on there and you head up towards Bathurst and then you turn into this highway that's like basically nothing it's like a plaster rock.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like nothing for like 2 hours. Well, right before you go in, there's a Tim Hortons there. So it's like perfect, you're going in for a long drive, get a coffee. So I go in there and they're going to get a coffee and like, like they have the donuts in the middle there. And they had it was when they had like the Oreo donut. And it was like, ooh, you know what? I'm going to get one of the fancy donuts for once. I
gonna
get it.
splurge.
Yep. So I get a coffee and get the donut, and I'm like, this is great. So I'm going through it, get something playing there, whatever. Just listen to the music, drive along.
Probably a Little Dream Theater.
Yep, right. Probably not a lot of traffic. Having a coffee, donut. I get to the mill in St. Quentin. So I pull in, and like it's logs. So you pull onto a scale to get the weight of
what?
the, that's how you get paid. So I get so I pull on the scale. I go in the little scale house where the person's working, and you kind of they give you your slip, and then you got to give them your slip for the paperwork stuff. And anyway, so she's just kind of writing down. There's a woman work there. She's writing down like the information and stuff, and she's like, I can't do this on a podcast, but as she's writing, she keeps looking at the paper, and like out of the corner of her eye, she keeps like looking up at me. And she's like, kind of like this. And I'm like, oh. And so this is
lady's eyeballing
this is St. Quentin, right? It's very, very French. So she's like, the bathroom is there. And I was like, oh, thanks. Thanks for telling me. Like, great, good to know. She's like, no, you have on your face. It's on your face. So I was like, what do you mean? So I go like this, and like this stuff falls on my shirt, like, and I look down, and I'm like, oh. So I go in the bathroom. All around my mouth is the entire contents of the powder that was on this Oreo donut. It literally looked like I had done all of the cocaine in New Brunswick. And it was all, and I had like a beard, and so it's all in the beard. And I had no mirror, right? I should have took a picture, but it was just like a giant donut circle around my nose. It looked like I had done all these drugs. And so I wipe it all off, and I come out, and I take my slip, and I'm like, thanks. Anyway, that was pretty embarrassing. Yeah. She could barely write the words. It was all she could do to not find the nearest cloth and like punch me in the face with it to get that off there. She's like, I can't even talk to you till you get that off of your face.
Look at this crackhead.
Yep. Oh yeah. It just literally looked like anyway.
Oh man.
So that was pretty embarrassing. No one knew about that until this moment.
There you go, Amanda. One right upstairs from the vault.
There we go.
Yep.
Jeremy doing a line.
Oh man, you don't even know.
I feel like that one needs a video recreation or something.
Oh yeah, 100%.
The worst part is I have multiple stories where I've been accused of doing drugs. It's happened several times in other countries.
Like, that's not even the story I thought you were going to tell.
Well,
I thought it'd be like you peeing on the side of the road near customs or...
What's... Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know if Billy Power listens to this, but I can't take all his stories, boys. Billy Power, if you listen to this, if you want to explain the very first time I crossed the border with you to Maine, you could explain that.
I think Jeremy Jeremy helped us with that one today.
I think the Spark Notes version, right, is they tell Jeremy to pull ahead because they're going to come talk to him because he's in a transport truck. He's not you know what I mean? Because the car is like, where you traveling, what you're staying, what.
Yeah.
I'd like to, like, a transport truck's pretty obvious. You're working. Jeremy has to pee.
I think you're getting your
two stories mixed up, apparently.
Oh, because there's two of these.
Yeah, there's two with involves your.
But you got out of the truck. You got out of the truck for something, right?
So I'll give you the Spark Notes. This is the first time. So I just got my Class 1 license. I'm working at Gold Line Transport, which maybe they don't want to be associated with me. So the guy I'm traveling with for a couple weeks is Billy Power. And so I'm kind of co-pilot with him. We switch off driving and stuff. And so the first long haul trip to the US, and like we get to the Holton, Maine border crossing, and like I've got a bit of a cold. So like we're talking to the customs guy, and like I'm kind of coughing a bit, and
sniffing a lot.
Yeah. kind of doing that stuff here and whatever. No problem. No big nothing. Like, yeah, no, Billy's like, I'm going to the same place I typically go to, most weeks, like whatever, right? So then you pull through the X-ray scanner, and there's like anyways, that all goes, everything's normal. So we pull through the scanner, and like once you're through that, they're kind of like they wave you on, like you're good. But like it's a border crossing, you're supposed to log and document all your border crossings in the logbook. So we just kind of go through the X-ray scanners, pull off to the side a little bit, take a second to mark the book. Mirrors fill up with lights, like spotlights, headlights, searchlights, everything, and like blinding in the cab. And like 3 or 4 of these border patrollers come flying up, and they come out, and they're like yelling at us to get out of the truck. And we get out of the truck, and they're searching through the truck and all this and everything. And then they bring me and Billy inside, and they don't say anything to us. We sat in there. I forget how long. This is you're talking like it was a long time ago now, but we sat in there for felt like an hour with no explanation. And then they just randomly come and tell us, "Yeah, you're good to go." So we go back, get in the truck. And the idea, like, we usually sleep for the night in Bangor, Maine at the Dysart's truck stop there. So anyways, we go in there. The next morning, talk to a buddy of Billy's, and he says, yeah, was that you guys, did you guys get any trouble at the border last night? And it's like, well, yeah, kind of did. And he's like, well, yeah, I was talking to one of the border guys, because you got to understand, you cross it every week. You
They started to get to know them, yeah.
Yeah, and the guy was kind of like, he's like, yeah, no, there was a couple guys that came through here, and basically thought one of the guys was on drugs and was high and like was bringing drugs into the U.S.
That would be you.
And that was me. All because I had a cold at the border.
Oh, man.
Anyway, yeah. Yeah, so anyway. And like, I'm always hesitant to go to the States now whenever we talk about it. It's like, I wonder why. It always goes so well. Anyway.
Well done.
Oh, man.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. I have a hard time thinking of my most embarrassing.
I already had mine, and it's been well documented. Gunk.
You had a whole episode about it.
Yes. So I'm out.
I had one. But you know what? It's not embarrassing as much as it is like, how does that happen to somebody?
Camping trip?
That's another episode. That's a whole episode.
We must do
the most random day. I never talked about taking Mikhail to Oak Island on here, right? Like, not the actual, something happened to me on the way to Oak Island. I don't think I did. You're looking at me blankly just to make sure I don't.
Wait.
We've done a few of these now. This has nothing to do with Oak Island. Something happened on the way to Oak Island.
Is Peggy's Cove in the way?
Peggy's Cove.
Okay.
There's his reaction. So I did not tell this.
Oh, I know this one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gary, do you know this one?
Great.
So,
No.
Oh, Gary doesn't know this one.
Is good.
oh,
This is fantastic.
you might want to spit bucket Gary for when. So for a little while, for those of you that watch, if any of you guys watch Oak Island on the History Channel, I don't know how I became friends with Jack Begley on Oak Island, but we were talking all the time, and Mikhail was obsessed with the show, and we thought, like, they're not doing tours. We didn't book a tour, but we were driving, like, we went on a big road trip, and we surprised the kids. We went as far as Windsor, stayed at a hotel with a nice pool and water slide or whatever, and we'll take the scenic tour back, and we like to go antiquing and stuff, whatever. And I said to Amanda, what are the chances I could get a hold of Jack today? Because we're just 45 minutes from Oak Island. Like, I wonder if he'd come out and just meet Mikhail. It's almost his birthday or whatever and all that stuff. And so I'm trying to get a hold of Jack, and I messaged him, and he never read it. And for all I know, they're filming today or whatever. I was like, all right, well, I can't just putt around Windsor waiting for him to get back to me. We have to start heading home. We'll never get home, right? We're all the way down that far. Like,
Yeah.
At this pace, like, because it was in the morning, but if we left now, we'll be lucky to be home by 6 or 7 tonight. Right? So like the longer I take, it's getting to be a pretty late night with 2 young kids. So we went, like I said, let's head to Peggy's Cove way. It'll still be something for the kids to see. And then if he does message me, we're not that far out of the way back. We'll take the shore road back, right? We're at Peggy's Cove. There's no parking, which is crucial to this, just so you know. There's no parking up by the lighthouse left, so we had to park way down the hill and walk up to the lighthouse. And we walked up, took the kids out on the rocks, not the black rocks for all the people in Nova Scotia listening. Like, why don't they put up a fence and ruin the whole? Yeah, okay. So not the black rocks.
Yeah,
those are the slippery ones. Didn't fall in or anything. Went to the store, because I remember Amanda bought a hoodie or whatever, and we're walking back with the kids, and the kids are kind of walking behind us, and you're watching, you know, like if you've ever been to Peggy's Cove, like there's traffic, but it's not traffic. Like what's someone going to do? Hit you going 10 kilometers an hour? But it is a windy road, and you got to kind of watch. If you got kids, you're watching it for the car. So I'm kind of keeping them behind me, and Amanda's holding one kid by the hand, and I'm holding the other, but they're kind of walking behind us. Like, you know, like when you're not holding their hand, but you feel their presence, they're right behind you, which was key to their success in this story. So I walked, they somehow came out unscathed. But I remember, and for anyone's been there, there's like the little art gallery to your left, right? And there's another yellow building with another art gallery, the McJewels to your right. And there's the carvings down, you know what I mean?
Yep.
We walked down around the corner, and that's where the water comes in.
That little creek thing there.
There's like that little creek where you can stand there, and there's a woman just standing on the side of the road, and she's kind of looking off into the distance. And she's got something in her hand, and I can't quite tell what's in her hand. And I think she's crying, and I'm kind of nudging Amanda, like, what do we do here? Like, what's because she's right, but she's in our path, right? Like it's we can't cross the road and then cross back, and she's kind of standing there, and it's like, is she okay? And then as we get about 10 feet away on this just perfectly windy day, by the way, she reaches her hand into what I now see as a bag, takes a big handful of what I now know is ashes, and proceeds to spread them in the air, trying to hit the water. None of the ashes are hitting the water. It is in my mouth. It's in my eyes. It's in Amanda's mouth. It's in Amanda's eyes. I remember we got the kids are fine. They're oblivious. Like I'm doing the whole.
Because you just ate a person.
Well, and on the way,
Inhaled them.
so like I'm sitting there, like our faces are white. She's oblivious. Like, what do I do? She's having this big cry. Like, excuse me, ma'am, as you spread the ashes of your loved ones all across Peggy's Cove, right?
You should not do that.
So like I remember grabbing like an ice cold coffee that had been sitting in the car for probably 2 days out of the door, and I'm swishing my mouth out with it. There's no water. They're like, what do you mean there's no water in the car? You're looking for everything, and your faces are white. You're looking in the mirror, and you're trying to get off your face. Okay? So in the middle of me not trying to throw up, and Amanda's on the other side of the car trying not to be sick, and we're trying to get this off us, and it's like, Amanda, I can taste it. Like, I can taste it. It's in my mouth. It's in my mouth. My phone starts going off as I'm gagging. And it's Jack Begley. Yeah, I'm at the island. Bring him on down. Come on over. I can meet him at the front gate.
Sweet. Thanks, Jack.
Oh, craziest day ever.
Just as soon as I get John wiped off my face.
Oh, man. And I'm sitting there like, you're even on your way. And I remember thinking like, Amanda, that wasn't what we thought it was, right? Like, there's no, like, that could have been something else. And she's like, what else could it have been? I said, well, maybe like, what if it was a dog? Like, what if it was a pet or something? And she's like, yeah, no, their dog asked to be buried. She's like, no, it was, oh, yeah, like, I know, like, I ingested some. I know I did.
Oh, you would have.
Like, it wasn't just kind of like a, like, do you ever like on a dry day, a big gust of wind comes and you get the sand off the road and you're like, ouch. It was that. All across your face. The full blown got a dead person in our faces. Kids were shielded from the whole thing.
And she has no idea.
No. Like she did it like 2 or 3 times just, and like I wish everyone could see me, but like the hand in the bag and she like graces the wind with like trying to spread it across the water.
Immediately goes.
But it's windy. I'm telling you, none of it hit the water. It's like a slow motion, like right back, like she tried to throw it to her right, and for a second, it's like the ashes midair thought about it, and then went, nope, I'm going hard left into the wind. Oh yeah. Oh my land. I've never.
I'm so glad you thought of that. Oh my God.
Most random day, maybe a month, because then we ended up with the whole crew at Oak Island. The whole cast came out.
Nice.
Jack gave Mikhail a piece of the core. And the whole time I remember getting in the car, Amanda's looking at me like Mikhail's on cloud 9. Jack gave him a piece of the original core sample from the Money Pit and all. And all I can think of is, this is so cool. And I'm pretty sure I ate a person today. Like Amanda's looking at me and she's like, what are you thinking? Because I'm watching this go down. I was like, if I look teary, it's because it's still in my eyes. I can't get it out.
Then she looks over and she's like, what's for supper, honey?
I'm kind of full.
Yeah. No appetite, no nothing. Oh, it was bad.
Where do you want to eat?
It was a bad scene.
Somewhere vegetarian.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's incredible. That's amazing. All right. Well, that's 56 minutes, boys. We still didn't get to all of them.
Hey, that we can whatever.
Thanks, everybody, for listening.
And if
Find us Facebook, Instagram.
if your loved ones are cremated, don't throw them outside on a windy day with people walking around.
Check the wind.
Man.
Like, subscribe, and all that stuff, guys. Thanks for listening. Hope you had a laugh at our expense, and
Yep.
have a good week.
Oh, my head hurts.
Girl from the romper room. Right, guys?
Yes, Gary.
Am I right?
I'm waiting to hear him.
Sharon, Lois, and Bran. Sharon and Lois.
You just wasted some of your life listening to the Bush League podcast. You must stop what you're doing right now. Like and subscribe and leave a 5-star rating. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and like us on Facebook.